we're in big trouble.
That water was working just this morning. I used it to fill this up to thaw out our meat. Well, that becomes priority number one. It is 20 degrees outside. Please don't tell me our water is gonna freeze every time it gets 20 degrees while we're over here in this cabin. Oh, Holler House, I miss you so much. We're remodeling our beloved house, and at this juncture, looks like we might not be in until like the year mark, April 1st. Not supply chain issues, well, unless you count workers as supply. We're having difficulty keeping people on the job. Okay, there's no water to the outside spigot either. Did you hear that water in the hose? That could be happening to our water line somewhere. Let's see if we have water to our barn. I'm not able to turn that on. I can't tell if I turn that on all the way. Let's try the Holler House. I think I found our problem. Spigot was left on and attached. Yeah, that means the water in the head did not drain. These frost-free hydrants are handy, but you can't leave them connected, and you certainly can't leave them on. I imagine what's happened. It's frozen here. Hopefully it doesn't bust this and we're not repairing this all day, and has gone down in and blocked our water line. All water comes through here. That's even frozen on there.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Complaining about Manila's teats, are you?
Yes, they're very tiny.
Hey, when you unplug spigots at night, you gotta include the one down here. I'm afraid it's shut us all our water off.
Farmhouse water is not working.
Neither is the log cabin.
It'll thaw when it gets warmed up. We put all the hay in front of the trough back in.
Sure.
That needs to happen because it's too much.
A lot of wasted hay they're wasting. I was kind of thinking we should have a flirt over here. What do you think? And then maybe the sheep don't seem to be as wasteful. Maybe they'd eat more of this. You think the cows would be all right when the sheep have babies? Sheep are due very soon. Y'all ready to go? Every single one of you. Peaches just ran off like crazy. What happened, Lily?
Stuck in the hose and then he freaked out.
He probably thought this was a snake. His biology doesn't say. It's just a plastic pipe. It's no plastic pipe. No snakes. Gotten him out?
Yeah.
And he got on those hoses and got scared?
And he turned to eat some grass, and then his legs were in it, and he jumped up.
Okay.
And then he pulled and pulled until it came loose, and then he cantered over to there, and then he started eating.
You're getting real experience. It's good for you. And Peaches is getting what you call homestead trained. You know, there's hoses. Not 100%, but I'm gonna bet our issue with the water is that spigot. But let's make sure the pump isn't triggered. We are still on. Frozen. Rookie mistake. We need that sun to come up over that mountain. It's already 8:30. Well, now it's my job to let Mom know. Oh, you got some? Wait, hold on.
This thing has overrest.
Okay, don't run it. Actually, let's collect some in that. We have water coming out our filtered water because it's already reservoired in there, huh?
There's some at the old house too.
There's water at the old house? Oh, that makes sense.
In
That's
the
before it
bathroom.
all. But not in the sink?
Not in the kitchen. There's barely any water in the kitchen. I'm gonna go get rocks.
Okay. Continuing work on Lily's horse turnout. Water is frozen somewhere. Freezing weather, bad for our water lines. Good for getting rocks off the mountain. Yeah, you come on, you can catch me. They're up there. Hear them? Getting the rocks for this retainer wall. It's the last day of this freezing weather. We're gonna have like a week of break, so we really need to get those rocks off the mountain right now. But at least we won't have to worry about the water freezing over the next week. Rebecca's first thought was all this vulnerability because of the remodel. You know, we don't have any of the walls in. Look, this is exposed. That's where the furnace room, that's where the water tank is and the water lines. There's no insulation here anymore. Zero pressure. Oh wait, we've got pressure still. We're gonna have to find a way to warm this room because it could have happened in here. This is the water inline right there. I think it froze right there. I don't think we would have pressure in that if it froze right there, right? It's cold, but it's not that cold. I think it's that spigot.
Old house waters don't work.
Every water goes to the farmhouse first. And then it goes to this house, the holler house, and then it goes to the cabin. If it's not working at the farmhouse, our problem may not be over here at this house. Enter the farmhouse. Oh wow.
It works a little wet.
Not much to speak of.
It works a little
Okay.
bit here.
All right, the problem may be over here. Water, our next most important resource next to air. And we are out of it. Thankfully, we have had set aside, I have about a gallon of drinking water. So we're good for a little while. The cows have some water in their trough. They're good for a little while. It's supposed to warm up by 1 hour. But goodness, we need water to drink. We need water for the animals. We need water to cook. We need water to clean our bodies, our surroundings. Good, my vulnerabilities is being exposed. This is good, we can address this. A bit of concrete you guys are sitting on? Well, that's the well head. This is the hydrant at the well. Let's see if we have a problem with our well or pump. Huh. If water didn't work at the hydrant at the well, at the very source, is there something wrong with the well? I'm just gonna flip the switch just in case. For the water pump, the well pump. Bring him past the Suburban. Don't bring him past the machines. Go through the field. Good. There you go. You can go cut right through the field. He's jittery. But, of course, he's never seen a Mini-X before. I'm a little worried about this because it's one thing if it's that hydrant causing the problems. That'll thaw out in a couple hours. It's a whole nother if it's our well. And we gotta get somebody to come out here and fix that. We could be without water for days. Blood test back. What were these ones for?
This was for, she did like, well, the diabetes panel.
What, do I have diabetes?
Well, it says your A1C is still high, but that's to be expected.
That's because that was before all these changes.
Correct. But it takes 3 months to move your A1C. Your A1C isn't gonna move.
Yeah. Insulin is
Your
in control.
insulin is fine.
That's good.
So that means that it's the inflammation that's driving the blood sugar dysregulation.
So what is she gonna do about this?
I don't know. Your thyroid is a little off, but it's not. You don't have Hashimoto's.
And I've been feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
Keeping my carbs down. No crazy diseases, no insulin issues. Just straight up some blood sugar issues. My body is, probably because of the Lyme inflammation, carb resistant. We are keeping my blood sugar under a 120. I've been able to do that easy. Any kind of carbs come with or after a meal. And basically I'm under 20 carbs a day probably. Ever since I've been doing that, it feels sustainable. Like, it's this game to me to keep this blood sugar under 120 and see what I can do. I have noticed I am able to eat more carbs, so I am healing and I'm still staying under that number.
This was high. If it's high, that it can drive inflammation too, but I don't know how to lower it.
Gastrointestinal barrier is great. What does that mean?
And then like,
oh, is that my gut?
yeah.
All right.
But look.
All that broth paying off, all that meat paying off.
So nothing is in the red, which is great. Oh, this one was in the red. The bone, joint, and muscle health, which duh.
Wow.
But see, you were low in vitamin K2, I think. I don't know. Anyways, they're gonna go over it with us and tell us what we need to know.
It says I was low in calcium.
No.
I need more, or yogurt. She's geeking out so much, she's gonna be late to the chiropractor.
No, I'm not.
Look, you've missed your calling, honey. You need to read blood results to people.
Well, I would definitely need to be trained before I could do that.
Look who's driving. How's he doing, Mom?
He's doing fabulous.
You ever think your boy would be ever driving you around?
I knew it would happen. I just didn't know it would happen so soon.
We did the chiropractor. Totally forgot to film anything there. 11 o'clock. We've got to have water. Still ice on the road.
Are my friends gonna ride or?
Uh-oh. Oh. We got problems. Okay, so that's unfrozen. We got problems, Randolph. Oh, wait. Wait. Maybe we got water. It doesn't look like full pressure, but that had pressure on it this morning, even when it wasn't working. It's right there in the middle.
That's kind of normal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's 60.
I don't think it's cold enough to make it that crazy, but
No, it was not that crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't very strong. I'm kind of wondering, is it just water in the line? And the pump isn't working? This is the test. Now, there could be something wrong with this hydrant. Maybe something's wrong with this hydrant and the well's still working, or maybe that's indicative. We got a well problem. We've got to get somebody out here as soon as possible. We're gonna be hauling water to the animals from the creek. I've called a half a dozen people. Some are as far out as behind after Christmas. Somebody can see us tomorrow. There's one guy that could come this afternoon, but he needs to know how deep our well is. Pop, tell me how deep the well is. There's a lot of things that my dad knew and I didn't retain it. He can come out, he just needs the right size pump. He's probably gonna have to replace the pump. He thinks it's the well. Let's go. I got a hold of the old well guy who's no longer retired. He somehow remembers, and it's 200 feet. Lee, the new guy, is coming out today. Lee said to me before we hung up, I appreciate you. No, Lee, we appreciate you. Like, you're keeping people in the water. Like, what more important job is that? It's like 2:45. An hour ago, I went to turn on the sink in the farmhouse just to wash my hands out of habit. You know, you forget the water's off. And the water was working. I called up the well guy, but now I have a new friend. I know who to call next time.